This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Yes. A very good morning and good evening, guys. Yeah. First of all, welcome and a very thank you for giving us this opportunity to take a Python demo, guys, joining our demo, right? So let me introduce myself. I'm Suresh, your Python trainer. I have been working as a trainer for almost 6 years now. I have been teaching folks at different levels. When I say different levels, starting from entry level to executive level on a couple of technologies. One is data engineer and second one is Python. Okay. So, like I said, I have been training folks on data engineering from past 6 years, but on Python, it's been 4.5 years. Okay. So what are the batch I'm gonna start? It's going to be my 15th batch, right? So talking about my work experience, like I'm not a full-time trainer. I'm a full-time software engineer, and training is my freelance thing. I have been with Career IT for almost a couple of years now. Talking about my full-time experience, my current role is a data architect. data architect using Python. Okay, have worked in big four firms. I have worked for Google as a client, as a contractor. Okay, I have experience working for FANG companies like Apple, right? So yeah, that's a small introduction about me, guys. Just wanted to hear from you now. Um, for the interest of the recording, I don't want you to unmute yourself. You can probably use your chat window. Okay. So this is the kind of introduction I'm looking for. Your name and then your years of experience. Okay. If you are a fresher, just mention fresher, that will do. And then current technology you're working on. Let's say you're working on maybe SAP, something like this. If you are a fresher, name and then fresher. Okay. So please your chat window. Please use your chat window, guys. This will set up the context for us. Okay, so I'll be waiting next couple of minutes for this, and then we'll get started with our demo. Okay, you can introduce yourself to everyone, or you can just ping privately to me. Hi, Pravina. Hi, Murli Krishna. Hi, Hema. Okay, cool. Let me get started, guys. No, if others want to introduce yourself, please feel free and introduce yourself in the chat window. Okay, so agenda of our demo, I'll be introducing Python to you, and then I'm gonna walk you through applications of Python. So applications of Python would precisely answer why you will have to join this course and how this course is going to help you. I'm gonna talk about that as well, and then I'll be walking you through our curriculum, course structure, how it is structured, and how we'll be going through. Okay, and then finally I'll be up for question and answers. Okay, we can have a live interaction, questions and answers. Okay, so let's get started. Let's try to make this session as interactive as possible. Okay, let's have some fun. Okay, rather than just a one-way talk, let's try to have some fun. Okay, so before we jump onto these topics, I just want to ask you one question, guys. What is your motivation to learn Python? So, since you have joined this demo, that means you are interested in Python. So, what created that interest? I just wanted to know your reasons. People keep telling different reasons, right? Few people would want to start learning coding, and they hear Python is the best way to start, and a few people want to, take their career to the next level. Now, most of the happening technologies like data engineering, data science, web applications use Python for development. Okay, so people have different reasons for joining this course. Just wanted to hear from you guys. What is your motivation to, take up this Python course? Like we have seen, we have a lot of freshers, and then we have a couple of experienced folks as well. Hi Pradeep. Hi Vidya. So no motivation. Okay. So 4 years back, let me tell you my motivation to take up Python. So initially I was a Java developer. I have been working on Java and Scala. So I have learned Python, I think around 2016. Okay. So my motivation back then was money, as simple as that. Okay. So I mean, we tend to learn what are the technology that is in demand, guys, because at the end of the day, we all want to work on happening technologies and earn as much as we can. Okay. So at least that's my motivation. Like I said, motivation can be anything. There is nothing right and nothing wrong. Okay. So directly or indirectly, most of your motivation would be same, right? Until and unless if someone is joining to learn coding, right? Now let's talk about Python. So people are going gaga over Python, 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 Python. Wherever you go, you keep hearing this term. So why is that happening, guys? Because of its applications. Okay. So the range of applications Python is supporting today, right? So Python is everywhere. You want to become a data engineer. The critical skill set for data engineer today is Spark. Okay, Spark. So be it batch processing or be it streaming processing, right? You will have to you'll have to use a framework called Spark, and the applications in Spark framework can be developed using multiple languages, guys. Starting from Java, then Scala, then Python. Python being the most used programming language for developing Spark applications. We call that component as PySpark. Okay, you can I mean, you don't really need to listen to me. You can just go and browse the job portals of your respective countries. Okay, so for example, if you are from India, you can probably check out Naukri or Monster Job or whatever. If you are joining from US, you can just go and check Indeed. You'll get to know. Okay, so that's about data engineering area. And then talking about data science, it's from past 8 9 years, Python have been the most used programming language. Earlier it was R, but now it's Python. Okay, so learning data science wouldn't be sufficient, guys. Learning data science alone wouldn't be sufficient. Maybe you learn a Bayesian classification, or maybe you learn a logistic regression algorithm. At the end of the day, the theory wouldn't help you, or the math you'll have learned wouldn't help you. You will need to convert whatever you have learned to some coding, okay, to run on your data sets, right? So you want to become a data scientist, you need Python. Okay, and similarly, maybe you want to become a web developer. So you have frameworks in Python which supports development of web applications like Django, Flask, right? And then you want to develop web services. Yes, you can do that using Python. Okay. Similarly, talking about automation, you have a lot of modules which supports automation as well. You have OS module, you have Inter module where you can develop some kind of desktop applications, whatnot. So basically, Python is everywhere, guys. That is the reason people are behind Python. Okay. So I forgot to mention testing using Python, where I mean automating your test cases. Okay, can also be done using Python. Okay, so I can list tens of applications or use cases or whatever you can call, but most important or most significant among them would be data engineering and data science. These are the two areas where Python is being used left, right, and center. Okay, so data science, you can check with any data scientist if you know. And talking about data engineer, I myself is a data architect, data engineer. Okay, so I can confidently tell you guys, Python is the most used programming language. So earlier people used to call the same data engineer with different names like ETL developer or Hadoop developer or Spark developer, or there are different names for the same role. Now it is called as data engineer. The modern term which we use is called as data engineer. Okay, so this is the reason a lot of people are showing interest towards learning Python. And talking about fresher, you know, I'm not sure how it operates in US for a fresher, because even though it's a fresher profile, it will be projected as an experienced profile. But talking about Indian job market, right? Though you are a fresher, you will be. I mean, if you are a fresher and you are being recruited for an IT company, it doesn't matter from which branch you are passed out from. Okay, you could be from CSE, you could be from IT, you could be from ECE. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and for all these folks, right, most of the companies are preferring Python as a training programming language. Okay, they start their training with Python. The reason is pretty simple, guys. If people can learn Python easily, they can learn any other programming language. And like I said, Python is the easiest way of learning coding, because it's very flexible, and then it's very easy. The syntaxes are not so complicated, and then unlike Java or C or C++, you can just write one line of code, execute, check the output, and then second line of code, check the output, third line of code, check the output, so on and so forth. Okay, so this mode is what we call as REPL. Okay, Python supports REPL mode of implementing a solution. The full form of REPL is read, evaluate, print loop. Okay, so you don't need to worry, guys. If you don't understand that term, that's totally fine. We will be deep diving into all these terms once we start our course. Okay, now let's talk more about Python. Okay, so before jumping on to what exactly Python is, let's talk about the definition of a programming language. So what is a programming language, guys? What is a programming language according to you? Any idea? I mean, whatever that is running in your mind, you can put it in the chat window. You can just ping privately to me. You see my name by Suresh Trainer. Okay. So just a heads up, guys, for experienced folks. I know you guys are experienced, but when it comes to training, I'll be treating every one of you as freshers, guys. That's how I deal with. Okay. So when I start my course, I'll be pretty slow and we'll start everything from the basics. Okay, and only after few sessions, I'll be speeding up the sessions. Again, you will not even be noticing that I have increased the pace. Okay, because you will be coping up easily, right? So I'll be treating every one of you as a fresher, so please don't feel bad if I ask basic questions, right? And again, it's not to test your knowledge, it's just to make sure that we are interacting one or the other way. The purpose of asking questions is just to interact. Okay, so let me put it this way, guys. Our computer can understand only zeros and ones. Our computer can't understand anything more than zeros and ones. So what are the input we are giving, right? Alphabets or numbers or whatever it could be, our computer will not be able to understand directly. Okay, so there is a huge lot of mechanism which is going internally to convert our input to the language a computer understands, and vice versa. Okay, so if your computer is responding in zeros and ones, you will not be able to understand anything. So again, there is a lot of mechanism that is going internally which would give us the output in the format we understand. Okay, and secondly, your computer is not self-intelligent, guys. Your computer is not self-intelligent. Okay, so your computer can't play by movie itself. Maybe your computer is bored and maybe it want to play a movie, so it can't play it can't play by itself. Or maybe your computer wants to listen to music, it can't do it by itself. Okay, it has to be done by someone, which could be you. Okay, you are the one who is using the computer. You are the one who is telling computer to how to operate. Okay, so this way of communication is what we call as passing instructions, guys. So basically, you're passing some set of instructions to computer. Okay, maybe you want to play a video. Maybe you want to play a video. Okay, you will be using some video media player. Some media player. It could be a VLC media player, or it could be a Windows media player, or it could be your favorite media player. You'll be using some video player. Okay, because you want to process a file of type .mp4 or .mkv or whatever it could be. Okay. Now talking about VLC media player, what is a VLC media player, guys? For you, it's an icon, it's a software, but in the back end, it's code. Okay. So a code is nothing but set of instructions. Okay. So what are those set of instructions? Those are the set of instructions which is telling your computer how to read .mkv files or .mp4 files. Okay. So that's how it is dealt. Okay, so again, maybe I'm a product owner or I'm a product company. Maybe I'm building a beautiful software, or I would say beautiful software to view images. Okay, if I give you code, will you be using my product? Definitely not. Okay, you'll be laughing at me, dude. How can we use the code directly? Right? So I shouldn't be doing that if I want my company to be a competitor to leading image viewers. Okay, so what I'll have to do is I'll have to abstract my code with a beautiful UI. I'll have to abstract my code with beautiful UI, and I'll have to give that code as an executable to you. Okay, .exe, and then the moment you click on that .exe, that software will be installed, and then it will be ready to be used. That's how it works. So what are the software you are using in your computer, or what are the apps you are using? At the end of the day, some code is running in the backend, guys. I just want you to understand this. Okay. And let's talk about this notepad itself. Whenever I'm clicking, let's say I want to format it. I want to format it. Control F. Okay. So here I'm finding something called as PySpark. Okay. So in this notepad code, there will be some function called find. The moment I click on this find next, that function will be calling that. I mean, the compiler would be calling the function called as PySpark. Sorry, the function called as find. Okay, similarly, you want to do a find and replace, or you want to edit it, or you want to save it, or you want to change some settings. So whatever the functionality you're doing, right, at the end of the day, some code will be called in the backend, or some code will be executed in the backend. Okay, so whatever the interaction you are making today with your computer is via a programming language, or is via a program. I would say not programming language, is via a program. A program is nothing but a set of instructions. Okay, a program is nothing but a set of instructions that you are giving to your computer to do a task. Okay, it could be your browser, it could be the GoToMeeting software you are using, it could be the Notepad software I'm using, it could be document, Microsoft Word, it could be anything. At the end of the day, it's a piece of code or a set of instructions given by you to the computer. Might not be written by you, but given by you to your computer to get your task done. Okay, are we on the same page, guys? Everyone, you can acknowledge me, yes, no, maybe. Perfect. So how do you give these set of instructions to the computer, guys? Okay. Um, simple example. Simple example. Maybe I am a Telugu guy. I'm a Hyderabad native. Hyderabad native. Okay. So let's say maybe I'm traveling to Kerala, or let's say I'm traveling to Tamil Nadu. Okay. So will I be able to interact with Tamil people directly? Definitely not. I would need a translator in between me and the Tamil guy. Okay, it could be a mediator in person, or it could be a Google translator, or it could be some medium which would help me, me to communicate with him in Tamil, and similarly a Tamil guy to interact with me in Telugu. Okay, let's take this Tamil as standard. Okay, maybe someone from North India come to Tamil Nadu, again they'll have to talk in Tamil, and some Mallu come to Tamil Nadu, they'll have to talk in Tamil. Okay, at the end of the day, these Tamil people only knows Tamil. Let's assume these Tamilians as our computer. Okay, they only know zeros and ones, zeros and ones. Okay. Maybe if I'm coming from Andhra or Telangana, I'll have to talk in Tamil, but I'm not very confident talking in Tamil. Okay. So what I have done is I have introduced a translator. I have introduced a translator, one translator called Telugu to Tamil translator. So this Telugu to Tamil translator would always convert, Telugu to Tamil and Tamil to Telugu, vice versa. Similarly, there is another translator for Malu people. Okay, so which would convert Malayalam to Tamil and Tamil to Malayalam. Similarly, Hindi translator, Hindi to Tamil and Tamil to Hindi. Okay, now people who are coming from Andhra or Telangana regions would be using this Telugu translator to interact with Tamilians. They cannot just go and use Hindi translator or Malayalam translator, which doesn't help them. Okay. Similarly, Malu people can use only Malayalam translator, and North people can only use their Hindi translator. Okay. So this Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi are what we refer to as programming language. Okay. It could be Java, it could be Python, it could be C, it could be C++, it could be Scala, it could be Lua, it could be R. There is a huge list of programming language, and the future rockstar Golang, right now it's gaining a lot of significance. Golang, Golang, guys. Okay, so currently Python is the rockstar. We are hoping Golang to be the future rockstar. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Okay. And what are the translator we have talked about, right? They are called as compilers. If you are using Python, you have a Python compiler. If you are using C, you have a C compiler. If you are using Java, you have a Java compiler. Okay. So how does it operate? It would convert whatever the Python code you have written to the code or to the machine level code, which can be understandable by your computer. Okay, and once that code is executed, whatever the output you get would be converted to the format in which you can understand. Okay, so then how do we choose whether we go for Python, or how do we choose whether you go for Java, so on and so forth? To answer this question, it depends on what type of applications you are building, and what domain you have chosen. Like I said, data science, there is no option, guys. There is only Python. R is gone because of few restrictions. R is not scalable. Okay, and now talking about data engineering, you still have options. Though Python is the most used programming language, you also have its competitor Scala. Okay, similarly, talking about web application, Python do have its presence, but Java is the guy there. Okay, because for developing web applications, right, or talking about full stack development, Java is still the go-to guy there. Okay, so it all depends on which area you are choosing, and how you want to proceed with your career. You'll be choosing one or the other programming language. Like I said, for freshers, people don't expect them to learn any technology like data engineering or data science or whatever. But for experience, you cannot just put your profile as a Python developer, which doesn't help you. Okay, for freshers, companies just expect one programming language from you. If you are good at one programming language and probably one subject in your curriculum, they should be good, right? Because you will be trained on their requirement basis. Okay, let's say you have cleared your interview and then stepped into TCS. They have some requirement in big data. They'll just train you in big data and put you into big data projects. I mean, that's how they operate. Their way of operating. Okay. So as simple as that, guys. Python is, I mean, a programming language is a means for you to communicate with your computer. Whatever the set of instructions you are passing, right? Those set of instructions would be passed by using a programming language, one or the other programming language. Doesn't matter what the programming language is. Okay. Now, talking about our course, I mean, there are a lot of interesting things we will be discussing. Like, Python has unique features. It is an interpreted programming language. Like I said, the meaning of interpreted programming language, you write a single line of code, execute, check the output. You write the second line of code, execute, and check the output. So basically, compilation and execution would happen in the runtime. Okay, I know the people who are new to programming language, these terms might sound alien to you, but trust me, guys, you will be very comfortable by the end of first week. Okay, because first 2-3 sessions will be focusing on understanding these words. Okay, and Python is a typed programming language. It means you don't really need to tell the Python compiler what is the type of data you are storing. Okay, basically you don't need to tell the data type. Okay, so whether you're storing an integer value or you're storing a string value or a date value or a long value, float value, you don't really need to tell your compiler. Your Python compiler is intelligent enough to understand, the type of value that is being stored into a variable without even without even you telling it. Okay, so that is the reason it's called as Python. Sorry, it is called as typed programming language. Likewise, we have some interesting features, guys, which Python has to offer. Okay, we'll be deep diving into all those things in the first couple of sessions, starting from Monday. I mean, you can get the batch details from Career IT folks. Okay, yeah, I think it's already confirmed. Yes, so batch starts from Monday. Okay, now let me walk you through the curriculum. So it is divided into different modules, guys. Like my Python training, I mean, the name of my Python course is Comprehensive Python. There is a reason for naming it that way, guys. Okay, so when I say Comprehensive Python, yes, it is comprehensive. So will my course alone would help you to get a job? If you are a fresher, yes. If you are an experienced guy, no. Okay, so if you are an experienced guy, my Python course would give you wings to learn the technologies. It could be big data. When I say big data, data engineering, I don't want to use that big data anymore because people have forgotten the term. Okay, so whoever are dealing with data now, they are called as data engineers. Doesn't matter it is small data, big data, fast data, doesn't really matter. Okay, and then you want to become you want to learn data science. Yes, my course will cover enough concepts for you to get started with data science. Similarly, for web developers, people who want to learn web application, they have something for them as well. I'll be introducing Django and Flask frameworks. Like, I'll not be deep diving into them, but yes, an introduction would help them definitely, because I'll also be teaching JDBC, how you can interact with your databases using Python code. Okay, so first module is all about basics of Python, guys. So you take any programming language, you'll have similar features, like I mean similar concepts: keywords, variables, data types, conditional statements. When I say conditional statements, it's about if else, nested if else, and then loops, for loop, while loop, do while loop, and then control flow. Control flow is break and continue statements. And then we'll talk about arrays, we'll talk about Python functions, um, we'll talk about string functions, date, calendar, and time delta functions. We'll talk about lambda functions, whatnot. Okay, and then we will have enough examples, guys, and I'll be giving you good number of websites where you can find practice exercises. When I say practice exercises, you have solved problems and unsolved problems too for your practice from those websites. Okay, you can also participate in hackathons as well. I'll be helping you with that as well, right? Might not be in the first 1 month of your course because you'll have to have some good hands-on before you get into those hackathon competitions. Okay, and the best part of my course is workshops, guys. So I don't believe in one-way teaching and then giving you all the gyan uh, in the form of sessions. So we do conduct some workshops where we'll be implementing some games using Python. Say for example, once we are done with um, you know conditional statements, loops, and control flow, we'll be implementing some games like guessing game, and then we'll play um, sticks game. We play some other games as well. Okay, so using our code, right? And then once we are done with NumPy, we will be implementing a simple application for photo editing. Okay, so that photo editing application will have features like crop and then tint and then rotate kind of features. Okay, and then once we are done with oops concepts, we'll be implementing a payment system for a call center. Okay, like I said, it will be done as a workshop. I'll be giving you requirements, then we'll be discussing about requirements, then we'll be coming up with the design, how we are going to implement the solution, then we'll get into the actual implementation. So that's how workshop goes, and these workshops are conducted on weekends without disturbing our regular sessions. Okay, and it will not be happening on every weekend, but there will be some milestone topics. Once we are done with those topics, we'll be conducting these workshops. I think you will be part of 3 to 4 workshops, 3 workshops for sure, and I'll be taking one workshop in the last week for enlightening you about the next steps. So what you'll have to do, how you can leverage whatever you have learned till then. Okay, so that's the beauty of my course. That's one thing which I really like about my course. Okay, and module 2, guys, module 2 is very important, collections framework. So people used to call the same thing as data structures. Okay, so one of the important concepts in any programming language, where we'll be talking about list, we'll be talking about tuple, we'll be talking about ticked, we'll be talking about set and then frozen set. Okay, and then object-oriented programming structures. So Python code can be implemented in both procedural way and object-oriented way as well. Okay, so I'll be walking you through object-oriented programming structure concepts. Pretty interesting. We'll get to learn what exactly a class is, what exactly an object is, what is an inheritance. We'll talk about different types of inheritance we have, self keyword, different types of methods we have, abstraction, whatnot. Super interesting concepts, guys, right? And then some miscellaneous topics like how you can send an email using Python, and then how you can there is this format called JSON format. I'll be showing you what that JSON format is and how it can help you in building your real-time applications. And then we'll talk about exception handling, we'll talk about decorators and generators, right? And then we'll start with Python for data science. So basically, what are the domains or areas we talked about, like data engineering, data science, web application? You have different modules in Python, guys. So whatever we have learned till module 4 would be generic Python. Okay. So though you are developing a data science application, though you are developing a data engineering application or a web application or a testing application, all these modules will be used. Okay, but talking from module 5, this is completely relevant to data science, and I'll be covering 4 key modules, guys: NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Like I said, I'll not be dealing with them extensively. From module 5, I'll not be dealing any module extensively. It will give you a high level idea on how Python can be used in these areas. Okay, and then module 6 is all about JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So how you will be connecting to your database using Python code, and how you will be doing those operations. and then I'll be throwing some light on web programming using Django and Flask as well. So basically, I'll be introducing all the web application terminology to you, and we'll be doing a couple of Hello World programs using Django and Flask. That's all about module 7, guys. So entire course is a 45-day curriculum. Okay, so it would take any time in between 45 to 60 days, guys, including weekends. Okay, so I would say 35 to 40 hours. 30 to 40 hours, 35, yeah, 35 to 40 hours. Okay, so this is about this course, and it's starting from Monday, 13 December. Timing is 7 a.m. IST, 7 a.m. IST to 8 a.m. IST. Okay, so this is about course, guys. Now, yeah, floor is open for questions and answers if you have any. You can ping me. Like I said, either you can ping to everyone or you can ping me. Or if you want to unmute yourself, please feel free. Unmute and ask your questions. I'll be waiting for couple of minutes. If no one has any questions, I'll be dropping off. Else, I'll be more than happy to take up your questions. How long it could be, but yes, I'm happy to stay back and take your questions. Anything related to fees, anything related to timings, anything related to admin things, I might not be the right person. You can directly get in touch with Career IT folks. Anything related to course, yes, I'll be happy to help you out.
Sir,
Yeah, I
my
can hear
name,
you.
myself is Brahmaramba.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah,
time
go ahead.
is in India will be started from Monday?
From Monday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. IST.
There is no any another option.
Like
Evening
when I
times is
said
no there, sir. Evening timings.
evening, no,
Evening, no.
because we also have US guys attending it.
Okay. How much fees, sir?
These admin related questions, I'm not the right person, Brahmaramba. You can get in touch with Career IT folks. I'm not sure
Oh,
about the fees and these timings. Okay.
okay, sir. Okay.
Hi Suresh. Hi Suresh. This is Murli.
Hi Murli.
Yeah. Actually, I used to work with. I'm working as a DevOps engineer. I used to work with multiple middleware applications, servers like and Ansible and other technologies. Here, my requirement, I have to automate a few functionalities using Python in on the Ansible. In Ansible. So this is my expectations from this training. I need hands-on experience on Python scripting. Yeah, I hope I will get in this training session.
Yeah. Simple, Murali. Like I'll not be dealing anything specific to any particular technology. Like if you have seen, till module 4, we have everything related to generic Python. So where you will be using Python, say for example, I'm not sure how it works in DevOps, because I have not been a DevOps guy. I just use Jenkins to push my code to the production. Except that I don't know anything in DevOps.
Yeah. Actually, we do have data engineers in our team. Actually, they used to work with this Spark systems, Zeppelin, and
Correct.
Hadoop, EMR clusters. Those.
Correct.
Yeah, using some Python or some other scripting languages, they used to work on
So
that data.
let me ask you this question: are you completely new to programming?
Sorry.
Are you completely new to programming, or you used to code earlier?
Actually, I started my career as Linux admin. I work with multiple clients on Linux, and then I got internally opportunity to DevOps.
Got you.
Here I
Got you. So
am
most of
working
the time you are an admin.
with, yeah.
Got you. So this
So
will be
development,
definitely,
my
but you
big
have
drawback is
hands-on with
development.
okay. You have shell scripting experience, right?
Yeah, shell scripting, yeah, I have.
Okay, perfect. So this will definitely
Shell
help you.
scripting,
Your
even
shell scripting
Python scripts
experience.
also for multiple requirements I did in my project
Mhm.
by referring some GitHub repositories and all.
Got you.
Um,
Got you.
but but I'm not sure what are the modules, why are we using, and how to handle error exceptions, unique
Mhm.
controls, and dictionaries. So those. I do
Hmm.
have this portal site and now Cloud Guru logins. There I used to refer some video,
Hmm.
some tutorials for my ongoing tasks. But
Okay.
is this only online training, or do we have a classroom training also?
Right now it's online. I don't know the scope of offline training. I mean, till we get some clarity on this Omicron. But
Okay.
I think it's a long side now. I have lost hope on offline classes. Even I used to enjoy offline classes because you get
Yeah,
to see the people directly, and then you get to interact with the people directly. It's all about mutual learning, right? Let me say, for example, you coming from a DevOps background, when we discuss, there is a lot of knowledge exchange. So
yeah.
even I'm missing that interaction, and I also lost hope on offline sessions anytime soon.
Okay,
Yeah, currently it's all offline, Murli, unfortunately. Sorry, all online.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I feel this online session not much into interactive session. Sometimes people will not get attention
So that is the reason I always try
sessions.
to, pull your legs, asking questions, and then,
Yeah,
I'll try my best to make sure, everybody is into the session rather than, just giving a one way session.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
got it.
cool. And
Thank you,
there
thank
is
you.
another, no worries, Murli. Ravina, without any tech background, will I be able to understand this course? I would say, except for a couple of folks, everyone in the batch are freshers. Okay, so I don't see you need any tech background. If you understand some terminology about computers, that should be good enough. Okay, so whenever somebody is referring themselves to a non-technical, definitely I don't expect them to be, you know, uh, someone who doesn't even know how to switch on a computer. Okay, if you are, that technical, right, where you can switch on your computer, where you can use some softwares, where you know some terminology of computer, that will do. As simple as that. But like I said, definitely more efforts will be required from your side, because for others who have some tech background, it will be easier, but for you, you know some more efforts are required. Akila
Yeah,
joined late for the demo, currently working as a BI developer. SSRS, okay, awesome. To move to a data analyst. Data analyst, okay. So it's a good question, guys, might help others as well. So when you are working on data, you predominantly will have three roles. Data analyst, data engineer, and data scientist. Okay. So let me explain what exactly is the difference between these three roles, and how this course will help you to become one of them, right? Uh, yeah. Now talking about data analyst. Data analyst is the one who deals extensively with the data. and the primary skill set of data analyst is SQL and visualization tools or reporting tools, what we refer to as. A few examples of reporting tools: Tableau, Power BI, MicroStrategy. Okay, so these are the ones. So data analyst doesn't really need a Python knowledge, to be very honest. Okay, because data analyst will work more towards business rather than being technical. Okay, so for example, we take data engineer. Data engineer is a technical guy. Data science, talking about data science is also a technical guy. Okay, so they are the ones who are involved into coding, but like I said, even they should be having some business knowledge. But from a data analyst, it's expected more. So you can put it this way: data analyst is the guy who can connect the business with the data engineers or data scientists. Okay, so I mean, even your business guys might not be able to understand sometimes what a data engineer is talking about, or a data scientist is talking about, but a data analyst can. Okay, so like I said, talking about data analyst, the primary skill set would be SQL to analyze your data, to understand the patterns, to do some exploration. Okay, and then Power BI and Tableau and MicroStrategy, because you cannot directly present the output of your SQL queries to your leadership or your business. Okay, so you'll have to put it in some beautiful visualization, and then that would help you to make them understand what's happening in the organization based on your data, what's happening to your business based on the data we have. Okay, so let me be very honest. Data analyst doesn't really need a Python skill. It's a good to have, but it's not mandatory. Any data analyst, the first expectation would be SQL and a reporting thing. So they are also called as BI analysts. Sometimes they are also called as BI developers. I don't think BI developer is exactly same as data analyst, but there will be some intersection on the roles. And then talking about this data engineer is the one who engineer your data, okay, for the end users to consume. End users could be BI developers or data analysts or data scientists. Okay, so this data engineer is the one who would be taking care of your data pipelines end to end, starting from ingestion. So when I say ingestion, not every time your data is readily available in your environment. You'll have to pull it from somewhere. It could be an outside system, or it could be an SFTP server, or it could be a REST API, whatnot. Data engineer is the one who pulls the data, wrangles the data, do all the transformations, whatever it is required, and finally create a cleaned, unified data set which is readily consumable by BI developers to develop their reports, or data scientists to run their machine learning algorithms. Okay, so these are the roles, guys. So there are companies which have introduced this term called data full stack. So maybe you want to become a data full stack guy, you will have to have all the three skill sets: data engineer skill set, data science skill set, and then data analyst skill set. So this data full stack is the future, guys. Okay, maybe if you are a SME, when I say SME, subject matter expert, if you are an SME in one of these three, and if you have some understanding and good knowledge on other two, you will be considered as a data full stack guy. And trust me, they are going to earn like anything. So maybe you want to be in the most happening area in next couple of years or 3 years. I would suggest you to become a cloud data full stack guy. Okay, so a cloud could be anything in the three happening clouds, AWS or Azure or GCP. Anything will do. If you could have that tag under your name, cloud data full stack guy, you don't need to look at your career for next 10-15 years, guys. With a minimal learning, you can push your career for next 10-15 years. Mm, I'm not supposed to share my contact number, guys, till the batch is completed. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, you can get in touch with the career IT guys. They'll be arranging a call with me. Okay, I'm not saying that I'll not be clearing your questions or I'll not be getting onto one-to-one call with you. I can definitely do that, but it has to happen via career IT, right? Even I'm bounded by some restrictions. I'm so sorry about that. Is this a correct course to start career in software? You can just close your eyes and join the course. Okay, someone who is starting your career into IT or software, if they ask me what is the right course, Python, guys. If not my course, it could be somebody else's course, but I would recommend you Python.
Suresh,
Data
is this
engineering,
1 month
more
course
like
or how it is?
45 days more.
Sorry,
45 days, 45 days.
45 days. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but what are the topics you are looking for will be completed in a month, because last 3 modules might not help you a lot, like Python for data science, Python for web application, and then Python for JDBC. They might not help you a lot, but whatever you are looking for will be completed in 1 month or maximum 5 weeks.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
No worries, Akila. Hope you got the answer you are looking for.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Once again, thank you so much for providing us with this opportunity. Just want to hear from you how you felt about the demo. When you are leaving, please leave a word about it, guys. Hopefully see you on Monday in our regular sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Akila. Hello. No, చెప్పు.